Okay, so we are back for another recipe this week. This is going to be a great recipe. This goes all the way back to Sicilian heritage. This is old school, real old school. And the name of this dish, you can see there's not much involved in this, but this is absolutely delicious. The Italian name for this is Bignolatti, okay? And basically what that is, it's a sausage roll. But it's not just any sausage roll. You're going to caramelize some onions. There's not too much cheese on it. The emphasis is on a good quality sausage, some caramelized onions. Take your time caramelizing those down because this is where you're going to get your flavor from. This is it. This is what you're going to need. I got about two onions, two sweet onions that I finely, just very thin. Okay, you want to do these nice and thin, for a couple reasons. One is it's not going to take too long to cook, and these will caramelize down very nicely. Now you might think sausage roll, pepperoni roll, all that kind of thing, there's going to be a ton of cheese in it. There's not. I'm probably only going to use like 2 slices of some mozzarella cheese, and I'm only going to just break that up and kind of sprinkle it throughout. Like I said, the emphasis isn't on here. It's on the caramelized onions, and it's on a good quality sausage, which I have here, about 1.5 pounds there. My dough is risen. It's sitting in this bowl here, so we're ready to go on this. I have 1 egg for some egg wash, and I have some really good quality Parmesan Reggiano up front, and we're going to sprinkle just a tiny bit in there inside the roll. We're going to show you how to do all this. Not too difficult. Very good, very tasty. You know us Italians, we only need a couple of ingredients to make a good meal, right? So all my Italian friends out there, this recipe is for you guys, especially you Sicilian people out there. But in theory, it's for everyone, of course. And we'll probably serve this with just a little bit of homemade sauce on the side, which I will leave a link in the description below. All right, so here we go. We're going to get on with this recipe. It is time to make the Bignolatti. All right, so we have a pan here heating up on the stove. I'm very excited to make this recipe, I have to say. We're going to put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of our pan. Not too much, a couple, maybe 3 tablespoons. Just enough basically to coat the onions. Okay, like I said in the beginning, I got about 2 onions here, 2 full onions sliced very thin. Okay, we might not use all these. The reason why I have so many is because, as you guys know, onions cook down and they get real, especially when you start caramelizing them, they like melt away to almost nothing. Okay, so there's our onions, and if I cook these and I don't use them all, which I probably won't, that'll leave me, something else that I can do with these, right? We'll cook something, we'll make something else with them. All right, we're going to put a pinch of salt in, and we are going to put some pepper in it. Where do you see how delicious this is going to be? If you guys never had this, once again, I urge everybody to make all my recipes, obviously, because they're very good. Okay, so we're gonna sweat these down. We're gonna take our time with these now. We're gonna put these on like a medium heat, okay? And we're just gonna leave them on a medium heat. We're not gonna rush them. We don't want to get these black or burnt, right? We actually want to just sweat them down. We want to remove the water out of them. That's why I put a little bit of salt in there, okay? And, we just want to get these really nice. Have you ever had a real good caramelized onion, like on a cheeseburger? Yeah, that's where we need to go with this. So this is going to take a little bit of time, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to let these go, and we're going to get over and we're going to drop the sausage in, and we'll show you what we do with that. Very easy recipe. If you can light a burner on your stove, and you can use a knife and just chop up a couple of this, couple of that, you're good. You can make this. It's not crazy, okay? All right, so we'll be right back. Let me drop the sausage in, and we'll get going with this. All right, so now we have the onions going on the other side, and we're gonna open up our our sausage over here. And again, I am gonna, excuse me, that wrap was really noisy. Sorry about that. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna basically throw our sausage in. These were links that were actually casings. I had my butcher remove the casings on these. You ask your butcher if they don't have bulk, and they just take the same sausage, no difference. They'll just take the casings off for you. Just one less thing I guess you got to do when you get home. All right, so sausage is in. We're gonna sorry about that. Oh, I hate when I do that. Sausage is in. We are gonna let this, now here's just a little tip for you guys that don't cook a lot of sausage. Instead of trying to break it up right now, let this cook a little bit, right? Give it like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, medium heat. Don't be in a rush with it, you know what I mean? Once it starts cooking, then you got something, you know, that's not as soft and pliable to try to break up. Once it starts cooking, it's super easy to break up after that. So we're just going to let this go, probably, I don't know, it's probably 15 minutes or so. I am looking for a little caramelization out of this, not too much, but we are looking for some caramelization out of that, and I'll show you exactly. For the folks that don't know what that is, we will show you that when we get to that step. And another thing I forgot to say in the opening with the ingredients is the dough that I got, that I'm using this, came from Red Front. You guys that watch my channel, you know that's exactly where I get my pizza dough from, and that is exactly what I did. They make it fresh every day. They're awesome. They're like the best dough, personally, I think, in the Capital District of where I live, so that's what I use. All right, so we're going to let this stuff go, and we'll bring you guys back when it's getting close, okay? So I don't bore the hell out of you guys, and then we'll get stretching this dough out and get that in the oven. Be a great time right now to preheat your oven to about, let's go 450 on this one, okay? Rack in the middle, so halfway up your oven. That would be great. Don't put it all the way down in the bottom or it's going to burn on you. And we'll get maybe the egg washed on real quick, okay? We'll see you guys in a couple seconds. Right, so these are getting some color on them now, so I just used this tool. You guys have seen this before, I'm sure. It just breaks up the ground beef, the turkey, you know, sausage, whatever, right? So all we're going to do, see, it's much easier now to, this is what I was talking about. If it's super raw, then it's harder to break up. So I wait until we get it just a little bit cooked, about halfway through, and then I start doing this, and that's it. All right, simple. Eh? That's all right. Look at how nice. It smells so good in here. I got a pot of onions going on the other side. I got sausage going on over here. I got my dough on the other side, all nice and rich, all nice and risen. Everything's good. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a good dinner tonight. Good dinner tonight. Okay, that's it. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna chop this up just like this. I'm gonna keep going on it. Obviously, the more you chop it, the more smaller it's gonna get. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to finish doing this up, and then I'll bring you back, and I'll show you what I mean by, when this is just about done, I'll show you exactly what I mean by caramelization. Right? Okay, so we'll see you in a couple seconds here. Okay, so I just want to show you guys what I'm talking about when I say caramelized. Okay, so we're just going to take the bottom, bring it to the top. Okay, just like this. Okay, and then we're just going to even it out on the bottom of the pan. Now, what I'm talking about when I say caramelized, I mean the brown area on the sausage, if you guys can make that out. Okay, and you can see how it's all getting kind of uniform. It's all getting kind of brown. All right. The only thing I do here is it's medium heat. I keep it on, you know, like I said, medium heat, and then every 2-3 minutes I give it a flip, and then I bring the top to the bottom, and as soon as I get the uniformity that I'm looking for here, I shut it off. That's it. That's all you got to do with this, and then that's ready to go into the dough as soon as our onions are done. This will be done before our onions will be done. So when you break this up, I'll show you. So this is about how I break it up, right? Little bite-sized pieces. So when it's rolled in the dough, you're not biting into a large chunk and then a small chunk and then a large chunk. See? You can see the darkness now, right? Okay, so that's what you guys are looking for. All right, just keep it going, make it nice, make it beautiful. Don't rush it. Just take your time with it. It's going to be a great meal. Okay, hang in there. I'll bring you guys back when the onions are done. We'll show you those, and then we'll start putting this together. All right, so I just wanted to let you guys see exactly what I meant by cooking the onions down. Well, look, it doesn't even cover the bottom of the pan, right? You know, remember it was up to like half the pan, 3/4 of the pan. See? See how that is? Just very, very, okay? So that's the consistency that you're looking for, okay? Very, very soft, a little bit of color on them. And these are done, okay? So we're gonna kill the heat, and then we're gonna go over and stretch some dough and get this assembled. If you guys didn't do it yet, go ahead and preheat your oven, 450 degrees. Put your rack halfway up the oven, probably like the 3rd level, okay? Make sure that's in the middle of the oven. You are going to need a little bit of flour coming up, and you also are going to need a cookie sheet, or you're going to need a cast iron like Lodge pizza pan. All right, I'm going to put this on a cookie sheet. That's just what I do, but you can do it either way. Okay, see you in a second. We'll get assembled on this, get this in the oven. All right, next things next. All right, simple. You see me do this when I do my pizzas or strombolis or garbage breads or things like that, right? You get the point. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're not have to worry about necessarily the sides of the pan on this recipe, but we do have to worry about the bottom of the pan. Okay, so we're gonna spread this oil, probably put a couple tablespoon or so, 2 tablespoons. All right, so just look at your pan from an angle, just make sure that your pan is completely covered. I only say that because you don't know where this is actually going to lay. All right, that's it. Get that out of the way. We're going to set this aside. Put that over there. And then the next thing we got to do is we got to stretch some dough, right? So, grab a little flour. Just like that. No measuring, just throw some down. It's just so the dough don't stick, that's all. And my dough, my dough has risen very largely, I have to say. Look at this. Like, it's crazy. All right, but that's gonna be good. So no biggie, no worries. Just let your dough rise, let it do its thing. All right, we're gonna take this now, and we're just gonna turn to see how it deflates though, so it's good. Okay, we're gonna just take it. We're gonna turn it out on my countertop or work area for today, right? Okay, so that's it. That's what we're doing, just like that. All right, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn around. We're going to make sure that this is, I may let this rest again too. We'll see what happens when I start stretching it. If I think I need that, then we'll do that. All right. Kind of do it from the inside out. Kind of like that. I just get it started like this. And we see what the elasticity of the dough is, and then if we need to let it rest a little bit more after I stretch it, then that's what we do. Because you're gonna have to have, like, I don't know, maybe a foot, like a 1.5 to 2 feet of this. Okay, so there's our dough. Let me get a rolling pin here, and we're just gonna help this along a little bit. Roll from the center out if you can. All right. All right. something like that. We're gonna have to let this rest just a little bit more. No biggie, it happens, it's just what it is. You're gonna roll this to about a quarter of an inch, and that's what it's gonna be the end process. Okay, so you want to try to get it, doesn't have to be perfect, right? We're just like that, so about that size maybe. See, now it's springing back. See how it's springing back? All right, see? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep rolling it a little bit, just like this. All right, and when it springs back like that, I usually let this sit out just like this for about another 15 minutes, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna let this dough rest so it doesn't have a heart attack on me, and we'll be back about 15 minutes. All right, make sure you don't rush this. Make sure because this is a great recipe, so we're gonna do a good one here today for you guys. All right, 15 minutes. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. So here we go. We let this sit for, I don't know, about 15 minutes, okay? Just so it's pliable, right? You just want it pliable. You don't want it so when you pull it, it doesn't stretch and you're stretching it beyond your means. Okay, that's what we're trying to avoid here, because you won't put holes in it, right? You want to, I mean, this particular thing, listen, if you put holes in it, it's okay. You can pinch it, you can roll it, you're never going to see it. Either way, you're never going to see it. All right, so first things first. So we're going to take some of these onions, and we're going to, oh boy, I'm going to do this. I'm going to spread. These are delicious too. You can just like eat a forkful of these as well. So like you've seen, the onions were like, you know, they cooked down, right? Like a lot. They really cooked down a lot, like I was telling you guys. So when you think like, oh geez, I don't need that many onions, yeah, you probably do, I would think, right? Because anytime I do like a quantity of burgers or whatever, you know, I always think that, like, you know, hey, one onion's going to be good, and one onion is, you know, far from being good, actually. So, all right, so you have to pay attention to just a couple of things here when you're doing this, okay? You put as many onions on as you want to. If you like a lot of onions, put a lot of onions on. I try to keep them pretty uniformed. I am going to use both of those onions, all of them. That's just me. It's just how I like it. But like I said, it's really you don't really want to overdo it. You don't want to put more of something than the sausage, right? Okay. So like I was saying, there's just a couple of things here that you need to pay attention to, and there's two things. One of those things are the edges, okay? And then this edge, the back end, this is going to be the last part that you roll, right? Because we're going to roll it from this side. So you can come all the way up to the top here, but as you've seen what I did, just leave a little bit of room over here, okay? Because we're actually going to cut that, and then we're going to make like a ring with this. We'll show you, but leave a little bit of room over here on the back side, because this is how you're going to seal it. Okay. All right. So we got that done. Now we're only going to put a little bit of Parmesan Reggiano, which I love. I could just sit with a spoon and eat this. If you guys have never had Parmesan Reggiano, I would urge you guys to go ahead and grab yourself some. Oh, I forgot one thing. All right, so we have to do our mozzarella now. Like I said in the beginning, this is not a recipe that calls for a whole bunch of cheese. Okay, so we're only going to do one there, and one there. That's it. This is not the thing where, wow, look at the cheese pull and all that stuff. That's not this recipe. All right, but we do like a little cheese in there. We do put the 2 cheeses in there. That's just how I do it. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do this by my hand. All right, we're gonna layer in some of our sausage. I mean, I gotta show you guys this. Look at how gorgeous that is. That's beautiful. It's nice and caramelized. You get a little bit of extra flavor out of it there. Beautiful. It's exactly what you're looking for. It's what you want. All right, I'm going to do this. And like I said, if you have any leftover sausage, you could always use it for an omelet in the morning. Make a sausage omelet. There's other things that you can do with it as well. You know, you make another one of these, I guess. But I started out with 1.5 pounds. Now I'm not going to use the 1.5 pounds. I'm going to say this here is probably about 1 pound. I'll write it in the description below when I do the recipe part. Okay. All right. So I think that's good. Just give me 1 second. Rinse my hand. All right, so I think that's good, okay? So you're just doing a, you know, almost like a stromboli, not quite, but maybe like a stromboli, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna roll this, okay? Now don't worry about, like, I mean, I'm gonna rip the dough. Hey, there's the oven, preheated to 450. We got it, okay, very good. And don't be afraid of like ripping the dough. If you rip the dough, you could just pinch it. Right? It's not a big deal, okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to move forward with this. All right? Try to get it tight if you can. All right? Just like this. I just go from one side to another, but that's, you know, that's just me. It's just the way I do it. Nothing saying you have to do it like that, okay? All right, just like this. And then when you get to the end of the sausage right there, here's what I do. I just take a little bit of water. I think everybody does it like this, actually. We'll take a little bit of water, and we're just gonna do that, and then we're gonna lift this up, and we're gonna seal it, and that's gonna seal your dough. All right, so that's important. You definitely want to seal the dough, okay? And you want to seal this end as well. You can do a little pinch if you want to. All right, let's clean this up a little bit. And then we're going to bring our pan in. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do that, okay? And now we're going to take this and we're going to stick this on our greased pan. All right, now we're going to turn around. I'm going to cut this piece of dough off. Okay, and we're also going to cut this end off. All right, just like that. And then we're going to take this. See, this is pliable. You don't have to be, you know, you don't have to get crazy. You can move it. You can move it around. A lot of people sometimes they freak out a little bit because it's dough and they think that it's all, you know, like you can't play with it or whatever. All right, and then you just have this little piece of dough here. You can either throw it on the side of the tray. You could stick it in the middle like that. Okay, and just mend it up a little bit. Nothing, it doesn't have to be perfect because it just doesn't have to be. So when you guys were away, I mixed up a little egg wash. So we're gonna egg wash this. I'm using egg wash on this particular recipe because I kind of want to, well, I call it a soft golden brown color. Okay, if you use like olive oil, which I love the look of the olive oil too, but tends to be just maybe a little bit more crunchy. than the egg wash. So we're doing egg wash for this one here. All right, make sure you get all sides. Get down in there, all right? Make sure you get all of it. So the egg wash just consisted to, which I forgot to say. All right, we're egg washed. We are ready to go. Egg wash consisted of 1 egg and like literally a drop of milk. Nothing crazy there, okay? And then we're just gonna go here. Then we're just gonna poke a couple holes in it. Make it look nice, right? So as a whole, I should have actually, and this might pop open, the top part, because I always put seam side down. Obviously, it's too late to do that because I egg washed it. But if I were you guys, I would actually take the seam, flip it over before you put it on the pan. I just didn't realize that I didn't do that. Okay, so that's it. Going in the oven for 50 middle rack for maybe 20 minutes. I'd set your timer for like 18 to 20 minutes. Keep your eye on it. Make sure it doesn't burn. When the top is golden brown, the inside will be done. That little bit of cheese that's in there will be melted. Remember, all the ingredients are already cooked, so all you're doing is just basically cooking the dough. All right, we'll take this out and as soon as it's done, and we'll show you what the results are. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be one of your new favorite little things to make. Okay, in the oven. Okay, so we are almost ready to take this out of the oven just here in a couple seconds. And yes, sir, there we go. All right, let me grab this out of the oven for you guys so you guys can see exactly what the, oh boy. Look at this little slice of heaven. Ooh-wee. Okay, look at that. Well, as you can see, it's bubbling. Now, this is what I was talking about when I put it in, but I actually think it looks really pretty, too. It adds a little character to this roll. If you put this seam, this is where the seam was. If you put that seam down, you wouldn't have it. It would just be even with the rest of it. But this is gorgeous. This is really, really beautiful. So I'm just going to poke it, just make sure that everything is, yeah, everything is, this seems really good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to let this cool down for a couple minutes, take it over on the cutting board. We're going to chop this up, and we're going to show you exactly what the inside looks like. I got a feeling I'm in for an awesome dinner tonight. All right, hang in there, guys. This is going to be great. Okay, so we gave this a little bit of time to cool down. I left this in for 35 minutes. The reason, so in the last scene, I had put it back in. The reason why I was poking around just to make sure that this whole thing was done and that the dough was done all the way through. Obviously, that's very important. But the ball of dough that I put into the middle was blocking the heat from cooking it from the backside. Okay, so what I did is I took the ball out and I left it in for another 10 minutes, and it seems to be perfect right now. All right, so this is now, it's still very, very hot. So the only thing that I did was I just put a little Parmesan Reggiano on top. This isn't going to be a thing where I'm going to plate this. There's nothing to plate this with. This is either a meal or, well, not this whole thing because this is a lot, or it's an appetizer, right? So you would probably eat this like, you know, garbage bread or, you know, calzone or something like that. Okay, so anyways, we're going to cut into this. Oh, and just so you guys know, I used about 1 pound. I used hot sausage. That's just me. That's just what I like. But you can use sweet sausage. You can play with this recipe, but just remember, the main thing of this is the onions and the sausage. It's not so much the cheese, so it's not going to be cheesy and pulley and all that kind of thing. All right, so here we go. Let's cut into this. Let's show you guys exactly what this looks like. Obviously, it's very crunchy. And boy, can you smell those caramelized onions. Oh, boy. Which, listen, I'm all about that. This is really hot still, so just bear with me for a couple seconds. Ooh. Yeah, this will work. Okay, so this is what we got. Look at that slice of heaven. Okay. Ooh. And if you could smell it, the caramelized onions, just cooked so right. And the sausage that was caramelized a little bit too. Getting those little crunchy bits on the end of it, and just that little bit of cheese that's on the inside, and a great dough. Real happy with Red Front's dough, always have been. All right, so that is what it is. That's what it looks like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut another piece open here so you guys can just see. Ooh, wait. Boy, that is... So we're going to do something like this. I don't know if it's quite plating anything, but we'll do this so you guys can see it. Now, oh, well, apparently somebody needed to go fast on a motorcycle. So, and I'm going to show you the bottom of it as well. Golden brown, right? Can you see that? Yeah, I think you can, right? Yeah. Golden brown, crispy. All right, let's get into this. I'm dying to do this, and we're gonna throw a little bit of sauce in there, right? Okay, we'll do this. Bada bing. Okay, let's dip this, see what we get. Ooh, I'm gonna burn my mouth here for you guys, I'll tell you that. All right, let's see. Oh, sweet Jesus. All right. So, obviously, the crunch is insane on this. You do taste that little bit of cheese. The caramelized onions, that sets this off, hands down. The sausage, again, use good grade sausage. If you have a local butcher near you, I'd urge you to go to your local butcher on this one here. All right, let's try this a little bit more. Like my mother would say, Jesu Christ, wonderful. But this is good. I want to take this and go sit in the living room and eat this all by myself, but I'm not going to do it. Very heavy meal. All right, you're gonna know you ate something if you have a piece or two of this. All right, guys, that is it. We are done, and this is how, as the Italians say it, this is how I make my Bignolatti. Okay? Make this. It's not too hard. You've seen how I do it. Okay? All right, guys, until the next recipe, you guys like what I did here today. It's a beautiful presentation as well. If you guys like what I did here today, go ahead and put a thumbs up. Click that notification bell. We do one of something every week that's delicious. Share it with your friends, all that good stuff. You guys know the routine by now. Could always use some more subscribers. We always push for that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate that. All right, until the next recipe, we will see you next week. Everybody have a great week coming up, and I will give you guys another awesome recipe next week. Have a great day.